Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today I wanted to jump on and share a little exchange that Selftaught Beauty had with one of her subscribers. I found it quite interesting, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I wanted to share this exchange with you because I think that it's very interesting how the same people that Self-Taught Beauty is relying on for money every month, she's also very quick to shut down if they are not in her echo chamber, in her praise chamber. So this comment was left just 1 hour ago. It says, when your address is Googled, there is a blue shed behind your house. You said your house burned down. Please explain. Film the whole property around your shed. How are you able to live in a shed with no shower or toilet in the middle of the winter? Don't you need a zoning permit to live in a shed if there's no house on the property? Don't you need an ID to get the zoning permit? And I think this is completely legit to ask. You guys have to remember, she heavily relies on her subscribers to give her not only attention on YouTube to get the AdSense money, but she regularly pushes her Cash App and asks for, donations and all of that kind of stuff. So the comment, and here's the other thing about the comment, unless this comment happened immediately, she has said that she doesn't have Wi-Fi where she is, so she has to walk to the store to get Wi-Fi. She responded 8 minutes after the comment was posted, which I also find very interesting. She said, my property has been filmed plenty of times. I have been filming about my personal life since the fire. That doesn't really answer the question that she was asking regarding the filming your whole property so we know what's going on. I've said it from the first video I did about her, there has to be 100% transparency. If you are asking people to give you money, ever. You are looking at older pictures of the house before it burned and that have not been updated. This land has already been surveyed and I'm working on getting the water. But we already debunked the whole water thing. She took a picture allegedly off of Google and inserted that into her video. I personally am not buying the whole installing water story because the picture that she showed has been debunked and it's tied to someone's website that she just grabbed off Google. I'm not sure if you watched any of my vlogs or just randomly commenting on something you really don't know about or even tried to understand. I think that people are trying to understand it, but I think that there are so many holes and gaps in her story that people are having problems, adding 1 and 1 to equal 2. But maybe next time you Google someone's property, please also take the time to find out how old the photo is before spreading word diarrhea. Have a nice day. That was not really the nicest way to end that. And then this person said, if it's an old picture, why does it show the new shed behind the house? Too many holes in your story. So I have Googled her address, and I'm not going to show it on my video because obviously I don't want her address being shown. But I did Google it, and the one question that I had was, when a home burns down, the Zillow or Redfin or whatever page, why would it still be showing a value for the actual house if the house is no longer there? The value should actually only be for the land that's there, not the house in the land. And some people, I'm sure that she would say, oh, well, that's just it's old info. But the listings that I was looking at, the websites, showed February of 2020. So that would have been a year and a month, basically 13 months after the fire would have happened. So I do have questions surrounding that, and why is it still showing a value for a house and land instead of just land? The other updated thoughts that I had was, y'all know animals and the welfare of animals is number one to my heart and soul. If you guys don't know, I have a chocolate lab. His name is Axel. He has a little cameo at the end of every video that I film. and he is my world. Now, even though I realize that Axel is spoiled to like the 200th degree, that's my journey and my decision to do that. I also still believe that if you're going to be a dog owner, there needs to be certain criteria met in order to make sure that the dog is living a healthy and happy life. Doesn't mean that they need to have a Casper dog bed and, all the single ingredient dog treats in the world. Like, I'm not saying that, but there does need to be funds set aside to make sure that they can see the vet on a normal basis, get their vaccines, make sure that you are able to brush their teeth. Gum disease is really high in dogs. Making sure that you can pay for their flea and heartworm medications, that can be very expensive. And obviously, making sure that you can pay for their food. And if those criteria cannot be met, and I'm not talking about just dogs here, I'm also talking about cats. I realize that cats are a little bit lower maintenance, but there are still things that cats need, and money is required to do those. I personally believe that you should not own an animal if you cannot financially fend for yourself. Because if you can't fend for yourself, then how are you going to take care of the animal? I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with animals having to live in a shed, and and I get it, like, getting rid of an animal, it would be my worst nightmare ever. But if it meant that they could be adopted and have a family that actually lives in a house that has heat, and they're able to pay for the vet bills and the food and all of that kind of stuff to make sure the animals are living a healthy and happy life. If you can't make that decision, then I think that you are very selfish, and I cannot side with that, especially if this is a long-term thing. We're not talking about a week or two where things are down and out and we're going to be moving in a week and this is very short term. This has been a very, very long time. It's been very stretched out, and I just don't agree with it. I don't think that you should be owning animals if you cannot, even take care of yourself. Another question that a lot of people had was, why are her sons not working? So her kids, I think, they're both over the age of 18 now. So why are her kids not working? Why are if she's having problems finding a job, then, you would think that the kids would kind of pick up the slack or help out or try to figure something out. I just don't understand why the circumstances are so much across the board for everyone. Nobody can get an ID. Nobody can get a job. Nobody can, help ends meet and all of this kind of stuff. There are just so many questions, and it seems like this is someone who is heavily reliant upon the money that is sent through Cash App or PayPal or whatever. And I think that it's provided a comfortability factor to her life, and along the way, there has been less and less transparency. People are looking at old videos, trying to put two and two together, coming up with their own set of ideas because they have no clue what the hell's going on. And there has been misinformation, half-truths, and a bunch of open-ended questions that have never been answered by her. And if you're not going to provide solid evidence and continue to ask people for money, then people are going to start figuring it out on their own. And that's what I said from day one. There has to be more transparency, period. So anyway, those are just a couple of random thoughts. I know that this is a very interesting topic for a lot of you guys. Some of you already knew who she was. You're interested that I'm talking about it. Some of you had no clue who she was, and now you're interested because I'm talking about it. At the end of the day, I am going to come to my channel with people, whether they're on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. If they're being dishonest and they're collecting money off of their subscribers, I'm going to talk about it. It is what it is. I will cover it with fairness and bring as much information as I can to the platform. But I think that these make for really interesting conversations. But I also think that they simultaneously sort of allow people to put up, put up red flags and realize that just because someone has a really endearing story, it does not mean that they're being completely transparent, while that also means that they don't necessarily deserve your money. All of us have hard times, and to give money to someone who might be not being completely transparent is also not fair for the person giving it. So, those are my thoughts on this. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.